Navarro said Trump's tariffs are aimed at unfair trade and cutting off the financial lifeline that apparently India has extended to Russia's war machine. Earlier, Navarro said that the Ukraine conflict was essentially Modi's war. This is what he said, accusing India of fueling Russia's war machine through discounted oil purchase. His comments come days after Trump's 50% tariffs on India went into effect. The Trump administration has approved $825 million arms sale to Ukraine that will include extended-range missiles and related equipment to boost its defense capabilities. This comes amid efforts by the US to broker peace between Ukraine and Russia appear stalled. The State Department announced the sale will cover 3,350 missiles, 3,350 GPS units, along with components, spare parts and other accessories, as well as training and technical support. It said Ukraine would use funding from NATO allies Denmark, the Netherlands and Norway in addition to US foreign military financing to pay for the equipment. Russia has hit the Ukrainian capital with one of the deadliest attacks of the war. Deadly missiles and drone strikes hit Kyiv early on Thursday, killing at least 23 people, including 4 children. US Special Envoy in Ukraine says these undermine President Donald Trump's peace efforts. Meanwhile, the president says he is not happy but also not surprised at the escalation. Ukraine's Air Force said Moscow fired as many as 629 drones and missiles, making it the second largest overnight barrage of the war. The hours-long assault damaged buildings in all city districts. Russia said its attack had hit military-industrial facilities and air bases, and that Ukraine had also attacked Russian targets. Workers from over 30 unions and organizations marched in Washington, D.C. to protest Donald Trump's policies, including an executive order signed earlier in the day limiting collective bargaining rights for federal unions. In certain agencies, the rally, part of the nationwide Solidarity Season campaign, highlighted corporate union busting and economic inequality. The march, which began at DuPont Circle, marked the first in a weekend of Labor Day demonstrations across the country, stopping at locations accused of anti-union practices. The Israeli Air Force conducted a targeted strike in Yemen, reportedly aiming to eliminate the military and political leadership of the Iran-backed Houthis. The operation, described by Hebrew media as Israel's most dramatic strike in Yemen yet, was first reported by Houthi-run Al-Masra TV and was confirmed by Defense Minister Israel Katz and the Israel Defense Forces, though they did not give specific details of the targets. The IDF said Israeli forces struck a Houthi military target in Sana'a. Hours before that, the Houthis claimed responsibility for another missile attack on Israel, which IDF said it had intercepted. Jim O'Neill, a top deputy to Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., will serve as acting director of the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. This comes after was forced out of the job after she was in the role for just a month. The White House said in a statement that the reason for her removal was that she was not aligned with the president's agenda. A Polish Air Force F-16 fighter jet crashed during a rehearsal for an air show in Radom, central Poland, killing a Polish army pilot. In a viral video of the crash, the jet is seen performing an acrobatic maneuver before dropping to the ground where it exploded. The jet engulfed fire skidded on the runway for a few meters as well. Kim Kyon-hee, the wife of South Korea's ousted former President Yoon Suk-yeol, has been indicted for bribery charges. This comes amid a widening probe into the country's martial law and crisis scandals involving once powerful couple. Both Yoon and Kim have been arrested and are in jail, with the former president already undergoing trial on charges that include insurrection following his ouster in April over a botched bid to impose martial law. It is the first time that a former First Lady has been indicted in South Korea. Indonesian students said that they will protest at Jakarta's police headquarters after a motorcycle rider died when he was hit by a police vehicle during violent clashes following a demonstration outside the parliament the day prior. On Thursday, demonstrators were protesting a number of issues including lawmakers' pay, education funding and the government's school meals. As the protest persisted into the night, local media reported that riot police fired tear gas and used water cannons to disperse the people. Venezuela's Nicolas Maduro supervised military exercises held in Caracas on Thursday. This as tensions with the US continue over the deployment of warships in the Caribbean. In the mountainous terrain, hundreds of troops marched, shotgun fire and blasted structures as part of the course of what the government has dubbed as special revolutionary operations. Maduro watched the demonstrations along with other top military and government officials. The United States has deployed 3 war vessels off Venezuela's territorial waters.
Para las operaciones helitransportadas.
Bangladesh police has said that it would lodge cases under the Anti-Terrorism Act against a prominent 1971 Liberation War veteran and 15 others hours after they were rescued from a mob during a public discussion. Police said former Minister and 1971 war veteran Abdul Latif Siddiqui, Dhaka University law professor Hafizur Rahman Curzon and former bureaucrats were among those charged under the tough Anti-Terrorism Act of 2009. Vietnam will provide a monetary gift of $3.8 to each of its nearly 107 million citizens registered in the National Population Database ahead of the country's National Day on the 2nd of September. The initiative follows a directive from Party General Secretary and aims to commemorate the 80th anniversary of the August Revolution's success in National Day. The disbursement is expected to be completed before the 2nd of September. Devastating floods in Pakistan's Punjab province have claimed at least 17 lives in the past 24 hours and have impacted more than 1 million people. Floods have killed over 800 people in the country since late June, with more than 1,600 villages submerged. Over 1 million people have been evacuated from their homes in Punjab province, which is experiencing its worst flooding in 4 decades. Torrential monsoon rain and the release of excess water from dams in India have swelled 3 rivers flowing into the eastern province. Residents of a village in Punjab's Mandi district pleaded for urgent rescue as floodwaters destroyed homes, wiped out crops and killed livestock.
नीचे बहुत पानी टच हो रहा है।
In the Indian state of Uttarakhand, cloudburst incidents have been reported in Rudraprayag, Chamoli and Tehri Garhwal districts last night. Notably, this is the second cloudburst to hit Uttarakhand this week after flash floods and landslides hit Dharali village of Uttarkashi on the 5th of August, resulting in multiple casualties. The cloudburst incidents in Garhwal region of the state have triggered flash floods, collapsing houses and bridges, leaving families trapped and livestock buried. At least 2 people are reported to be missing in the Chamoli district. Taking stock of the situation, Uttarakhand Chief Minister Pushkar Singh Dhami said debris flow after the cloudburst has blocked areas, leaving residents stranded, and that rescue efforts are underway on war footing mode. Former Reserve Bank of India Governor Urjit Patel has been appointed as Executive Director at the International Monetary Fund for a 3-year term. A veteran economist, Patel returns to the IMF after 3 decades, where he began his career and served in India as Deputy Resident Representative in 1992. His appointment follows the premature termination of the Krishnamurthy versus Subramanian's term. Patel, widely credited for shaping Patel, widely credited for shaping India's inflation targeting framework, took charge as the governor in September 2016 and resigned from the post in December 2018, citing personal reasons. The resignation came after public disagreement with the Modi government, making his tenure one of the shortest in recent history. Gold is heading for a second straight weekly gain, trading near $3,415 an ounce early Friday in Asia, just shy of April's record high. Investors are awaiting key US inflation data that could influence the Federal Reserve's next move. Fed Governor Christopher Waller backed a 25 basis point cut in September, sparking rate cut bets and boosting bullion's appeal. MCX gold October contracts rose 0.1% to 199.10 grams, while silver edged down. Gold's safe haven status has been bolstered by tariff uncertainties, geopolitical risks, and central bank diversification away from the dollar, though a stronger greenback could still cap further gains. Elon Musk has asked a federal judge to dismiss the US Securities and Exchange Commission's lawsuit over his 2022 stake in Twitter, calling the case a waste of time and taxpayer resources. The SEC alleges Musk missed a mandatory disclosure deadline by 11 days, costing Twitter shareholders over $150 million. Musk's attorneys claim that there was no intent to deceive, no harm, no basis for the action. The case, filed just days before US President Donald Trump took office, has stoked controversy within the agency amid claims of political motivation. Musk also seeks to transfer the case from Washington, D.C. to Texas, citing years-long harassment by the SEC. Tennis fans at this year's US Open can experience matches in a new way with 3D cartoon replays and an AI-powered commentator. The technology, introduced through the official app, uses player tracking data to recreate live action in animated form, offering insights and ball trajectory analysis for fans on the move. The app also includes a match chat feature, which provides predictions and commentary while avoiding controversial or offensive responses through a strict vocabulary filter. Developed in partnership with IBM, the innovation has already logged around 5 million interactions, designed to enhance but not replace the traditional viewing experience. YouTube and Fox have reached an agreement to keep Fox News, Fox Sports and other Fox channels available to YouTube TV subscribers. Earlier this week, YouTube had been in negotiations with Fox, with the media company, asking for payments above those received by partners providing comparable content. Meanwhile, YouTube said it reached a short-term agreement with Fox that would buy time for the parties to reach a new distribution agreement. According to the Federal Communications Commission Chairman Brendan Carr, removing Fox channels would be a terrible outcome and has urged Google to get a deal done. In February this year, YouTube TV reached a deal with media giant Paramount Global to keep channels like CBS, Comedy Central and Nickelodeon available after failed negotiations over a new contract had briefly left the future of the streaming partnership in limbo. Nvidia CEO Jensen Huang has said that the discussions with the White House on allowing sales of a less advanced next-generation Blackwell AI chips to China will take time. He also said that President Trump understands that having the world build AI on the American tech stack helps America win the AI race further. Trump suggested that he might allow Nvidia to sell a scaled-down version of the chips in China, noting that it would be 30 to 50% less capable than the regular version. That comes despite deep-seated fears in Washington that China could now harness US artificial intelligence capabilities to supercharge its military further. China hawks fear allowing even stripped-down Blackwell chip sales to China could open the door for Beijing to secure more advanced computing power from the US. Meta platform CEO Mark Zuckerberg met US President Donald Trump last week to discuss the threat of digital service taxes, according to a Bloomberg report. Days after the meeting, Trump warned countries imposing such taxes that they could face additional tariffs if the legislation is not removed. The Trump administration is also considering sanctions on the EU or member state officials responsible for the Digital Services Act, citing censorship of Americans and costs on US tech firms. Several countries, mainly in Europe, have imposed digital taxes on companies including Meta, Google, Apple and Amazon, targeting revenue earned in their markets where these firms pay little local taxes.